So I have more of this factoring using the grouping method. This one's a little bit harder because notice that we have not only A's, but B's. The last one just only had one type of variable, just all X's. This one has A's and B's. So for this guy, again, first step, even though it says grouping method, we're going to see if there's a GCF using all four terms. Again, A, do we have matching set of parentheses? No. B, do we have the same letter in every single term? A. No, no common for A. B. No, only two terms have B, so there is no common variable. Remember, just because three of them have it, because there's four terms, you must have all four terms have to have the same letter. C, do we have a common number? Now, some people are able to see yes or no, but if you don't see it, take each of the coefficients and do a tree diagram. To save a little time, I'll tell you if you did 12, that's going to be 2 times 2 times 3. 21 is just 3 times 7. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. And 14 is 2 times 7. So a lot of them have 2's, but because this one term doesn't have a 2, can't have a GCF for 2's. Some of them have 3's, but this one doesn't. Some of them have 7's, but these two don't. So you have to have a number that all four terms have. So we don't have a GCF for parentheses, for letters, for numbers, and notice it does not start with a negative. So we don't have a GCF for even the leading term being negative. We always have to double check. Again, some problems you might have a GCF before you're able to go on to the next step. Now that we checked and there's no GCFs that we have to worry about, what we're going to do is, again, go through the grouping steps. The first step is just put parentheses around the first two terms, parentheses around the last two terms. When you do parentheses around the last two terms, make sure the sign is included in the second step, not the first step, and not accidentally left out like doing that. You want to include it in the second set of parentheses. So that's step one. Step two, since these are two mini problems, let's focus on the first half and see if there's a GCF looking at just those two terms. Rory told you that we know we have an A in common because both of these you can clearly see an A. But there's also a number. Remember, this was 2, 2, 3. This was 3, 7. They both had a 3 in common. Remember, when you look for a GCF, you're going through A through D. We didn't have matching parentheses. We did have the same letter. The smallest exponent is to the first. We did have a common number, and these two was a 3. And notice it doesn't start with a negative, so it only had 2 out of the 4 possibilities. Once you found out your GCF, divide each term by 3a. So we get our leftovers. So the leftovers for this, 12 divided by 3 is 4. A squared divided by a. Here, 21 divided by 3 is 7. A over a, there's a tie. Remember, when there's a tie, no more a's. Let's see if there's a GCF in the second set of parentheses. That's our third step. Notice, yes, there's no matching parentheses, but they do have the same letter. See how they both have a letter B? So we know our GCF has a B, but it also has a number. Remember, 8 was 2, 2, 2. 14 was 2, 7. So you can take out a 2 since they both had a 2 in common. And, remember what we said? If it ever starts as a negative, that must be part of the GCF. Or you realize to do the factoring of the second set of parentheses, whatever sign this is, you must bring it down as part of the GCF. The last time, it was a plus sign I brought down. This time, bring down the negative. So my GCF is not just 2 and the B, but the negative as well. So if I divide both of these by negative 2b, you'll get your leftovers. Negative divided by negative, we're going to get a positive. 8 divided by 2 is 4. B on top, B on the bottom, they're canceled out, but we still have the A that's left over. Over here, negative 14 divided by negative 2, negative divided by negative, remember, that's going to be a positive. 14 divided by 2 is 7. B on top, B on the bottom, same amount, they cancel out. So if you look at this, you got matching set of parentheses. And that was key that you took it out as a negative 2b. If you didn't take out the negatives, you would not have these two parentheses match. Once you see these parentheses match, this is where we can do our final fourth step. Factor out these matching binomials. Remember, these will become just one set of parentheses. The 4a plus 7. And then the second set of parentheses is going to be the leftovers, or the GCF that we found in step 2 and step 3 here. The 3a minus 2b. Remember, these two parentheses are gone. They just become one set. This and this will make up your other set of parentheses. If you distribute this out, did a rectangle, you'll get all these terms.